When I tell my friends I wrote a book about the American Revolution, they ask me, which war was that? This was the war with George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton and old Ben Franklin, but not Abe Lincoln. It started up in Boston in 1775. Historians have written thousands of books about what caused the war, but it boils down to the Brits needing money and wanting the colonies to support government-sponsored monopolies. The rebels wanted to keep their lucrative smuggling and land speculation practices. Among the land speculators, Washington and Daniel Boone. Each side justified their positions with idealistic principles. The rebels named Washington commander-in-chief. Some of his pictures make him look like a grandmother, but he was a tough hombre and a genius at politics. Washington fought the Brits for 5 years between New York and Philly. He won a couple of small battles, but mostly lost. But the British never wiped him up. His pitiful army survived. In 1777, a brilliant rebel general beat the British at Saratoga, New York. His name, Benedict Arnold. He later switched sides. But Arnold's victory brought France into the war against its arch-enemy, Britain. Spain and Holland also joined the war. Meanwhile, the Brits wiped out 2 rebel armies in the south. Washington sent a self-taught general named Nathanael Greene to turn things around. He never won a battle, but every time he lost, the Brits took a beating. In 1781, Greene's counterpart, British General Cornwallis, who was no pushover, headed to Virginia. The French forced Washington to take his rebel army south and join with the French army and French fleet. They defeated Cornwallis at Yorktown. In the war's last 2 years, the enemies fought major battles around the world. Along the frontier, Indian nations fought rebel invaders. The British fought the French, Spanish, and Dutch in the Caribbean, along the Mississippi, as far north as Hudson Bay, in the Mediterranean, off Africa, in India and Ceylon, and in navy battles fought by fleets and privateers on the coasts and on the high seas. The last battle of the American Revolution was fought between the Brits and the French on June 25, 1783, in Cuddalore, India. The last British troops left New York in early December 1783. I have a bunch of interesting stuff on my website, including information about my book.